Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Finance Minister complains that the price of oil has left a big hole in Alberta's finances. Nobody blames the government for the price of oil. We do blame them for their response. The NDP has promised to run the provincial debt up to $60 billion with no plan to pay even $1 of it back.
Unbelievable.
To the Finance Minister, you've made it clear that your plan for getting through the recession is to borrow like there's no tomorrow. Will you now tell Albertans how they'll clean up their mess by paying it back when tomorrow does come?
Good question.
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much for the question from the third-party leader. You know, our plan is showing results. Q2 was released on Monday, and that plan talked about 2017 being a more positive experience and environment in terms of growth GDP than this year. So if we're seeing that happen, we're seeing 2 pipelines approved. We're going to see even more investment come back to this province, and when we see more investment, we'll see a smaller deficit, and we'll get back to the plan of balancing.
Thank you. Since Northern Gateway approved when we were in government was cancelled, you're -1 there. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the government is banking on revenue from the newly approved Kinder Morgan pipeline to bail them out of their leaky fiscal boat. So let's talk a bit more. Trans Mountain is estimated to generate $1.3 billion in royalties a year. The problem is by 2019, the interest payments on the accumulated debt from this government will be $3 billion a year. To the Energy Minister, since the Finance Minister has borrowed so much that the pipelines approved won't even cover the interest on the borrowing, do you have a couple more pipelines to support your Finance Minister's big spending ways?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much. You know, Mr. Speaker. Sorry.
Minister of Finance.
You know, Mr. Speaker, what we are doing is we're keeping the spending tap down. That side over there, what they did was they had their operational spending glued to the price of oil. So it went up and it went down. That hurt Albertans, that hurt investments, that left us in a recessionary hole. We're fixing that. You broke it.
Second supplemental.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, no Albertan believes this Finance Minister is controlling spending. But he does brag that Alberta has the lowest GDP of any province in Canada. You're welcome, Minister.
You're welcome.
It currently sits at 9.7%, and the government plans to grow it to 15.5 by 2019. The fact is, Alberta's ratio was at 3.4 when the NDP took office.
Right.
To put that in perspective, this government is going to triple the debt-to-equity ratio in 1 term of office.
Whoops.
To the Finance Minister, Albertans deserve to know if your department is even working on a debt repayment plan, or you're simply planning on defaulting on the mortgage.
Oh boy.
Minister of Finance.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think I've said this many times over. You know, our plan is to make sure that spending stays under control, not like the previous government, where spending sometimes went up 10%, went up 8%, went up 6%. We're far under that in terms of growth plus CPI. But I will tell you that, you know, if they'd have put more money away in the good years, we'd have a lot more today. They spent it like drunken sailors. Now we're having to deal with it.